And we're back again.
You gotta stop telling the people that we're back. I think they get it now.
Nah, I'm telling you, we're gonna do this like Mace.
Nah, I'm over it.
We're gonna do it like Mace. We're gonna we came back with a new name. We're gonna do it like Diddy. We're gonna change the name of this podcast about 2-3 more times.
Nah. Let's do let's do like Diddy this time. I'm feeling it. Like we ain't
going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now.
Cause it's bad boy for life.
And
or
girls
it's wine
and them
night
days.
for life.
Hey, there you go.
Wait, what was you saying?
I said, I was being inclusive. I was saying like.
You gotta stop doing that because people are gonna take that shit as being sarcastic and petty.
I'm not though. I'm being dead ass. Like, why would I want to be a bad boy if I'm not a boy?
Bro, Lil' Kim was on Bad Boy.
Okay, but like, that's not our record label. Whatever. Anyways, y'all, we are returning with another episode of the Wine Night. I'm gonna call them the Winers. Like, hi, Winers, because they're Wine Night. So hey, Winers, we're back. And so this week we're coming at you with a short episode. So, if you're not familiar with our podcast, Mike is gonna tell you right now.
All right. So, like Nia said, it just sprung on me. If you follow us last week, we had like what we would consider a longer episode. And what we do is we alternate on. So on this week, we're going to have a bit of a shorter episode of more abstract topics, something that we believe would help our listeners in whatever way in their daily lives. So with that being said, Nia, introduce the topic for this week.
Forgiving yourself as I forgive you.
Is that a song? Or you made that
Actually,
up?
I just kind of like remixed it. It was kind of like the Believing Yourself from like The Wiz. And then I realized none of those lyrics actually go with what I was about to say. So I just stole them.
What's that?
Whoa, like The Wizard of Oz, but the black version. Oh, you're disappointing a lot of
black
people.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
Wow, you need to watch it. It's a classic. You can't watch Paid in Full every day. You have to watch other black classics. I'm sorry. You got to get it together. But yeah, forgiving yourself is our topic for today. So you want to start us off, or you want me to go ahead and ramble on?
I'll start. So I'll start with that. So first thing, the reason why I think this topic is so important is because whenever I have conversations with people about, sorry about that, y'all. A issue they may have with someone, I'll start saying, okay, when are you planning on forgiving them? And they're like, what? Forgive? What are you talking about? And I'm like, well, I was explaining at the end, like, forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. You know what I mean? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm just like, because put it this way, it's like, as long as you're still angry at that person, as long as you hold that over their head, then that means you're still angry and you still haven't let it go. So forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you just play boo-boo the fool and you let them do it again. It just means, you know what? You got me, and I let it go.
So are you like more inclined to forgive yourself first or other people first? What is that for you? What does that look like for you?
I think I forgive others first. I let go. Go. What I always do is kind of like in the Bible, not to compare myself to Jesus, but kind of like Jesus said, but we're made in His image. But you know how He said, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not." I think it's "do not know," or "for they don't know better."
For they don't know their sins.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. So when you do that, like it puts you in a more peaceful mind state. For me, I can say. So then after that, I can start working on the harder part, and that's kind of forgiving myself for what I did wrong. Because that's the tough part to me, is when that feeling of, I should have known better, or I should have. Why didn't I see that coming? And you're gonna war with that for the rest of your life. It's much easier to just forgive the other person, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it always depends on what the situation is. Because if it's something that I know I didn't mean to do, I guess I'm more inclined to forgive myself versus I guess the level of importance is always a big factor for me. I'm more inclined to forgive other people before I forgive myself, depending on the situation. So I don't know, if you hurt my feelings in some type of way, I can forgive you quickly. But if you did something just malicious and just nasty, like it'll take me some time before, you know what I mean, I'm able to like forgive you. And I think that it's like the same type of thing that goes for myself. It's like, if I know I didn't mean it, or I like truly know it's an accident, then I'll be like, okay, like, come on, yeah, you can't beat yourself up for that. But say it's something like really important and it was supposed to mean like the world, and then I messed that up, and I'm like, all right, you are the actual worst. You are going to die alone. No one will love you because, you know, you suck so badly at like whatever it was that I messed up. So I don't know. I feel like forgiveness, it also ties into like, you know, like your mental health and stuff like that. Like if you're not in a good place mentally, then it's going to be definitely hard to like forgive yourself, or even other people for that matter.
Nah, it really is. I mean, I remember. I think of, I'm not gonna get into details, but I think of a time when a certain situation where I gave someone a chance, right? And I shouldn't have given them a chance. Looking back, and all I could think of.
Are you dying?
I don't know. It's been going on for.
Okay. I feel like you're like spreading the flu through the phone to all of our listeners.
The flu,
and that's not fair.
I'm
just saying, like, bronchitis.
I'm blessed and highly favored. I don't get the flu.
Okay. Plenty of Christians out here with the flu, my guy.
You know, people out here just pray your way through it. Nigga, I got tuberculosis.
Pray my way. Listen, your mother is out there with a ginger on her hand right now, just itching.
Yeah, every time she calls me, she's like, Michael, you're coughing. I'm like, I'm aware.
She's got the Vicks and a nap waiting for you when you get home. Your parents ever tell you to just lay down and go to sleep? Yeah, like that makes
I swear to them, laying down, going to sleep, and drinking a glass of milk or something solves everything, bro.
No, my mother stayed with the ginger ale, and then Shorty had the nerve to have flavors. That's the wild part.
That ain't even ginger ale no more. That's
like this different.
That's the soda.
No. It's like different types of ginger ale. Like, you know, like this one's supposed to work more than this because this one has more ginger.
You ever had that? Like,
it's like.
You ever had that like legit real ginger ale?
No, that shit's nasty.
That's nasty. I thought it was just me. I wanted to see like if it was just me.
No, I like the Verner's one. Like that one.
Oh, I'm not.
But that's
I always
for my own personal. I was about to say, you come at me, I'll hang up this.
I know, like
I hang up this whole podcast.
You, so I ain't gonna comment, but
I was about to say, don't come for me like that. Don't
side
do
note,
it.
let me tell y'all a little something, y'all. So Nia has this ginger ale that she loves, and has a very, you know, sentimental value to her. She's I remember around the time when I first met her, she's like, Mike, you like ginger ale? I say, yeah. She's like, I want you to try this ginger ale, and I was just like, I bet. I took one sip of that shit, and I said.
It was not
it's
that
great,
bad.
Baby. It's great.
It.
So I don't ever want to hear from you.
That is a good ginger ale. I don't
ever want to hear from you.
Other people drink that shit and they like it. So I don't understand why you don't like. Y'all go out and try Verner's ginger ale and then y'all let me know how y'all feel.
I can guarantee you right now.
I'm about to go buy a case right now. Where we found that at?
All right, we gotta get back to the podcast. Get back.
All right.
But
all right, whatever.
But yeah, what was I gonna say?
I was just talking about forgiveness and like there's levels to this shit.
Yeah. So with that, levels and saying like it's difficult depending on like the situation.
Yeah. Like I said, like I don't know. Say your best friend lies on you or something like that, right? That's gonna take a little bit more like time for me to forgive because of the relationship that we have together, versus like somebody I don't know and they say something bad about me. You know what I mean? Like. I'll probably forgive that because I don't know you, and like holding on to that type of like anger and hurt just doesn't do anything for me at the end of the day, versus like my best friend, someone I trusted and I confided in, somebody, you know what I mean? Like, and then I think of myself as like my best friend. So if I hurt myself, it's going to take me a long time before I'm able to get over that. Like, why did I do those things to either hurt someone that meant a lot to me, which in turn hurts me, or I didn't take whatever I was doing seriously enough so that it didn't hurt me. You know what I mean? So it really all depends to me on the type of situation. Because I know a lot of people, they say like, oh, I can forgive myself. That's easy. That's fine. And then I ask them like what exactly it was they forgiving themselves about. And it's something that's like trivial. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make you up at night. But there are times where I'm legit up at night, can't sleep, 3 a.m. like contemplating like what was it that I did wrong and like refusing to let that stuff go.
Yeah, I mean, and let's start going through. With that being said, let's start going through some of the things that people our age have to forgive them for. Let's, for example,
Money.
go ahead.
Ooh,
Go ahead. What did you mean? What do you
money.
mean?
Like, okay, in the sense of, I know for me, right? If I spend money on anything that's not something that I need for my house, for my car, or for the better, for like the future saving, I know
Oh,
saving is
that's
a
a
big thing for me.
different
Like,
direction than I was
I don't
looking.
save money, or if I buy something for myself that like makes me happy, like, you don't understand. Sometimes I would sit there and contemplate over and over and over again, should I take this thing back? Like, no, but I really wanted it. Oh my God, but like, that's $70 on my bank account, and what is going to happen in the future, and you know what I mean, like, so it's hard to forgive myself for making myself happy. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's something I know I don't forgive myself about.
Mm.
Like, I was just talking to you earlier today. I want to buy pizza, and like, I'm like, oh, do I really want to spend this $13? Like, this $13 can go towards this thing I need, and you know what I mean, saving up for when I have to job search and all this other
Mm.
stuff, like, so it's hard for me to forgive myself to buy myself little happy, things, but then I have to tell myself, like, no, like, I'm not here to just save. I'm not working to just save. I'm working to live, and like, I'm not living if
Mm.
I don't do small things to make me happy. Especially all the thought and stuff like that I put into, like, okay, when do I splurge? When don't I splurge? Like, I'm out here saving half of my check talking about I'm not saving enough money. So like, you see how, stuff like that.
Mm.
That was like my own one example, but
That's it. That was a different direction I was thinking of. But well, then we could definitely go. I'll respond to that one for sure.
no, go tell yours, like
No,
something that.
I want to respond to that one though, because it's
Okay.
something that it goes into a deeper topic of giving yourself like the ability, the opportunity to be happy. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you think about it, like a year or two ago, I think whatever it was, you were dead broke student teaching, right? And I vividly remember you
Mm-hmm.
almost every single day. It was either ramen or it was if you was feeling good, you would make your little stir fry, whatever little shrimp you could put together. You know what I mean? And you was eating to survive, right?
Say that
I
one more
said you
time.
were eating to survive, right?
Right.
And with that being
Mm-hmm.
said, now that you've moved forward to a different part of your life, it's like you feel like you're like wrong for wanting to spend your money, and it's like, bro, you worked so that you can do this. You know what I mean, all them years
Right.
in killing yourself K through 12, then the 4 or 5 years in undergrad, all that shit. That's what I was saying the other day. Remember, I was like yesterday when I was like, yo, I fucking made it. I made it out the hood. I deserve 20 wings. I deserve 20 wings because I said so.
If the smallest thing, like, that's what I
Yeah.
deserve. Like, I deserve to go get this pizza and eat this pizza and be
Yo,
happy.
you do.
Like,
Like you really do. And like
mm-hmm.
you sometimes like if remember I used to always say if you let these motherfuckers tell it, remember I used to always say that? Because it's true. If you let other
Mm-hmm.
people tell your story, tell you what you're worth, your shit will come up smaller than I don't even know what. So at some point you
Mm-hmm.
have to. I don't know if you want to call it forgiving yourself, but just like, well, yeah, forgive yourself when you want to splurge. You shouldn't even have to. You shouldn't even be mad at yourself. But if you are mad at yourself, like, you let it go. I wanted to splurge.
Let's see, you out here and you were like thinking, and I'm like, I feel like sometimes the reason why it's so hard for us to like forgive ourselves is because we don't think we deserve to be
Mm-hmm.
happy. So like, I just made that like really deep connection, and I just want to put that out there that my brain was firing. Like, how
Yeah.
you all them connections is happening. It's like, I can't forgive because I don't think I deserve to be happy. Like, maybe this was supposed to happen to me. Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Maybe I'm supposed to struggle, and that's like what, but even though that's not true, like, whatever voices in your head are telling you that, whether it's the little voice in the back of your head, whether it's the devil, whatever you believe in.
But it, but oh.
But sometimes I'm like, I don't deserve those 20 wings. Like, what did I do this week to deserve
I
that?
didn't
Like, did I
break
work
my
hard
back
enough for
today,
that?
so I don't deserve 20 wings. I didn't
Yeah.
toil in the minefield, so I don't deserve to give myself 20 wings. And like,
Maybe that's what it really is.
and it's funny, while I was talking, I was thinking about that while I was talking. I was talking to to somebody once, and I was asking them, I was like, do you know what it means to be happy and prioritize yourself? And it was like, no. I was like, well, has anybody ever modeled it to you? And they paused and they considered, and they said, no. And I was like, and that's where it is for us. Like, for me, I can speak for my life. Like, my dad would definitely splurge, and, you know what I mean? He will take care of himself. My mother, on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
only wears hand-me-downs, won't take a new present, like, will not give herself anything, right? So for me, and
Mm-hmm.
also me being poor, I didn't celebrate. We didn't celebrate anything. The celebration was never really a part of my life. So as to get older, I kind of, I adopted that mentality of, oh, I did something right. Oh, I got good grades. I was supposed to do that. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I graduated. I'm supposed to do that. Not, never mind the fact that
Mm-hmm.
almost all of my peers are not where I'm at right now in life. I'm supposed to do this. So with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
like you're right. Like you don't think you deserve it. You don't think you deserve to be happy because my happiness has never been modeled to you. It hasn't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, like when it comes to yourself and like the things that may have happened or you may have done, like you definitely have to look at it and you have to ask yourself, like, do you deserve to be happy? And sometimes a lot of that happiness will come from letting whatever that is go. And the only way you can let that go is to forgive yourself. Like you can't. And so I think sometimes we like to skip steps and we can't skip steps when it comes to, forgiving yourself and wanting to be happy. And like that first initial step is realizing like, yeah, I do deserve that. And then how do I achieve that after I realize I deserve that?
Mm-hmm. Shit. Mm-hmm. It's a hmm. All right. So how about I'll share mine then, and after that we can kind of like start talking about solutions or like steps moving forward. All right.
Okay.
One thing that I see people have trouble forgiving themselves is when they gave someone a chance. Let's say you talk about romantic relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone cheats on you or something like that, and or someone. I mean, there's people out there that significant other steals money from them. They're whatever it is, they do something foul to you,
Well, first of all, leave him, sis. But
right? But but yeah, and then you give that person a chance, or maybe not even a second chance, but like something told you that something was happening.
say that again.
Maybe not a second.
Say it
Maybe it's
again.
not a second chance, but something gave you the inclination not to trust this person, and whatever you thought was gonna happen ended up happening. And now that kind of leaves
Mm-hmm.
you in this place of, oh, I should have fucking known better. I should have known. I should have. Yeah, I mean, and I think we don't give ourselves enough grace for being blinded by love. And also sometimes not even being blinded. It's just, I mean, if you were taught to,
Maybe it's a want. Maybe it's a need. Like,
it's it,
you know what I mean? Like you wanted it to work out, so therefore,
yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes I mean, I believe in giving people second chances. If you've never done it before, I'm. This has happened to me before. I've been cheated on. And I've given someone a second chance, right? So it's like I was able to forgive myself very easily because when I reflected on it, it was like, okay, like I know I can do this to this person, but I understand that people make mistakes. And I also thought about, okay, what did I contribute to this situation to make this happen? Not saying that it's my fault. I'm not getting that back, but it's just recognizing, okay, like what is our action plan moving forward? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
if I if I forgive you for this and I stay with you, if I forgive you for this and I continue to work with you, if I forgive you for this and I continue to acknowledge your existence, you know what I mean? Like, what is the action plan moving forward? And if we come up to something good, then we could do that. But if I don't see nothing from you, then it's just like maybe you just gotta go. You know what I mean? So
That one's all. So I don't. I personally don't know. Because it's like you do go through a lot of turmoil, but there's like a lot of resentment there. There's a lot of anger
mhm.
there. You know what I mean? You have to really like cipher through all of like those emotions before I feel like you can get to the point where you're like forgiving yourself and forgiving that other person. It's a lot. Of, like, so kudos to y'all who can do that because Jesus Christ, that's a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I wouldn't know where to start. I would just, I don't even know.
Well,
I'm going to try
let's
and
start
make
talking
something
about
up in
that.
my head real quick and then
Let's start talking about.
no, but it's like, but it's a real thing. Like you have to like sit there and think about all the like the real life things that happen with people, whether you have an argument, whether you stop talking to somebody, whether it's romantic stuff. Like all these people go through all these different things and you're just like, what haven't you forgiven yourself
Mm-hmm.
about? Like, what are you still holding on to? Because that stuff, like, it plays out in your other relationships. Like, moving forward, say you didn't stay with that person. Like, what did it, like, what would that have looked like if you didn't forgive that person and yourself moving
Mm-hmm.
forward? It probably would have been a catastrophe. Like, because you hurt people. So
Mm-hmm.
that's tough. I'm just saying, I don't have an answer right now, but for whoever our listeners are, like, hearing this episode, like, I hope you get the time to reflect and really think about, like, okay, how do I become happy? And what is it that's holding me down? Like, that's weighing me down. Because I feel like when you don't forgive, it's like a boulder sitting on your chest or like on your shoulders and like physically weighs you down. How do I stop this from keeping me,
Mm-hmm.
underwater?
Definitely. Yeah, because it will. Because like I said before, like if when you don't forgive, you're just all you're doing is just you're carrying that. You're carrying this weight. You're carrying this dark cloud over you. You know what I mean? And forgiveness is
Mm-hmm.
basically saying, okay, that happened, and it's behind me now. What do we do moving forward now? Let's move forward. And I also want to
Yeah.
point out that like forgiveness is not a boom. I forgive. It's a process. Even when you say it afterwards, it's okay.
And it's
It's an
constant.
act. Forgiveness is active. It's a constant forgiveness, constantly. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. Let's say your friend, you and your friend fall out. Every single time you do something that you would have normally done with your friend, you see that thing or whatever, you're gonna be reminded of that, and it's gonna be a constant. I forgive them. You know what I mean? Let's say your friend.
Oh, yes, that is true. I was just having this conversation like literally yesterday with someone. So like their significant other, I wouldn't say like was physically cheating, but for some people, like when you talk to other people or when you do certain things, like it's still considered cheating. So let's say like loosely like was cheating, right? And so I was saying, like, they were telling me, like, my trust is, at this level. And I'm like, that sounds a little, like, jarring to me because it was so quick. It just happened, right? And so for your trust to be, like, almost to 100%, it's like, how are you actually healing? Like, are you skipping steps or are you healing? And, like, it's really important, I think for people to realize that like forgiveness is a constant thing. Like you don't forgive and then it goes away. Now your trust is back at 100. You forgive and then you work, like you said, work towards it. You forgive and then there's work that needs to be done. And I don't think that person forgave themselves for the role that they may have played, in which led to their partner doing other things. However, I do not think that cheating comes from that. So like, let me preface that. Like, if the person's doing that, then they're just doing bad things. What led them to do bad things? Okay, different conversation. However, I think that like it's a constant, like every single day, just like when you work on yourself and you have to realize that like yelling at people is not the right response when you're angry. You have to realize that like forgiving somebody when you're upset is still like it's a constant thing. Like no, until it's something that it sits in your soul so peacefully that you don't have to like actively
Mm-hmm.
work at it, it will have to continue to be active, if that makes
No, for
sense.
sure, for sure.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was like, damn, I really just had this conversation yesterday.
I don't remember what I was saying, but
Quite like how it's active, basically.
yeah. Forgiveness is
Forgiveness is
definitely an active thing. I think the last thing I want to point out towards forgiveness is it's a little bit unrelated, but then
active.
it'll make sense how to. Hopefully, it'll make sense after I explain it. Yeah. A lot of times with forgiveness is because you talked about being happy. A lot of people need to define happiness for themselves, and you need to define on the other
Ooh.
side of forgiveness and on the other side of moving on from the situation. What am I working towards, or is it just kind of you're just in a weird limbo? So just identify for you what is happy. Have you ever identified that? A lot of times I want to get back to that point. There's no going back. There's no going back to that quote unquote happy person.
Joke's on you. You wasn't happy then
Yeah.
either. Ha ha
There's no
ha.
such thing as I want to go back to that happy person that was in high school, or that happy person that was in undergrad, or that happy person before this breakup. Or there's none. It's only moving forward. Unless there's a time machine out there and I still don't want any part of it. You know what I mean? Like this is it, and you have to pick up the pieces and move forward. So yeah, I think a really big part of forgiveness, the after part, is identifying what happiness is for you and creating those steps towards it.
Ooh. I feel like we dropped a lot of
We did,
gems.
we did.
short period of time. We out here for the
For
culture,
the
man.
culture.
All right, well, um, we are reaching pretty much our 30-minute mark. This was supposed to be 20 minutes, so. All right, Winers, we got to get out of here. We hope you enjoyed this this episode, and I hope we helped in some type of way. Like, let us know how you feel in the comments, you know, on our Instagram or Facebook. Or if you know us personally, shit, text me then. What's taking you so long? No, but yeah, let us know how you feel about the episode and tell us about your like own battles or successes with forgiving yourselves or others. So, all right, y'all. Peace, love, and happiness.
All right, later.
Oh wait, what's your little quote? I forgot. You had one. It was so cute.
Oh,
Oh, come on, you got this. I believe in you.
oh man.
It was like something if you're not whining.
Oh, it ain't whining if you drinking wine.
Hey, and I got wine, bitches. All right. I'm ready to go. You
Yeah.
ready?
Later.